So unfortunately, due to that HR incident, I'm not allowed to have mistletoe on my person ever again, and I'm really sorry about that one. So I really don't know what to tell you. What?
Honey.
Oh, hi!
Hi!
Wild Man Wes here.
I'm Rebecca.
And welcome to day 19 of What's Your Poison's 24 Beers of Christmas. Never mind what I just said, don't pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. No. So we are down to the wire. We have 6 beers left for this series, and
it's almost Christmas.
Yep. And it's time to open it up. Oh, there we go. What we got? Man, it's jammed in there thick. All right.
I like the. Ooh. I like the can.
Let's see. What do we got? What is this from? Oh, White Oak Brewing. All right. So from Normal, Illinois. All right. We have Holiday Cheer Sour Ale with Tart Cherries, 5%. Okay, so we mentioned in last episode that Becca, sours aren't necessarily her jam.
I will have a sip of yours.
Okay.
And if I like it, then pour me a glass.
Fair
How does
enough.
that sound?
Fair enough.
Because
I'm loving the artwork on this. I mean, it's got the
old vintage car, like that red Christmassy old barn.
The trees, the cherries in the back of the truck. I mean, and not just that, but if you look closely, we've got the Lodi stamp of approval. Okay.
Boop, boop.
Popping this open. Can you see your glass?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit? All right, here. Make sure all the... Beer clean is important, as Hefe would say. Always got to rinse the glasses out. So, okay. Ooh. Very clean, for the most part.
Very carbonated.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for a second there, I thought there was sediments in there. It's like, nope, that's just...
No sediment.
That's just carbonation.
It's just lots of bubbles. Lots and lots of bubbles.
Lawrence Welko would be happy for that with the bubbles.
So many bubbles.
All right, so here we go.
My brain went to Nemo. Bubbles.
That's fair. All right. Very cherry. I like that.
Oh, I feel like this is going to give me false hope. Because it kind of smells like cherry juice.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens.
All right.
Very interesting.
This reminds me, I don't know if you've ever had it, but my mom's like home canned cherries.
I believe so.
A little bit sour.
But
like, whatever kind of cherry she does, that's what it tastes. That's it.
I mean, this one, I'm gonna go ahead and say nice because it has a wine flavor to it. I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, it tastes like a very dry, like, I want to say like a dry Pinot Grigio in a way, like for wine wise. For the record, folks, I did work for a wine distributor for a little while.
My bad, I got him into that.
Oh, don't you say that my bad. No, but
experiences.
No, but actually, I mean, it helps me describe a lot of these beers that I'm a little bit perplexed on, and because we had one a few days ago when Hefe was here, where it almost tasted similar to like a Chardonnay. So I'm glad that I caught that because of the tannins within that beer. So with this, I mean, it's definitely the same.
I definitely say a white wine of sorts. That's why I grabbed more. I'm okay. This is not making my stomach go hit.
No, I mean, the sour...
It's not as sour as I was expecting.
No,
with it being labeled as sour.
Yeah, I mean, normally when I'm thinking sour, I'm thinking like it's gonna be sour, but
especially sour ale with tart cherries.
Well, and I mean for White Oak Brewing, I will say there's nothing normal about it.
It's a knee slapper, love.
I'm sure my brother will appreciate that since he and his family live down in Illinois Redbird town. So hey, and I'm an alumni too, so. Go you Redbirds. Well, we hope you enjoyed this quick, slightly quick review on White Oak's brew.
We forgot to grade.
I already graded.
Oh, I didn't grade.
Oh, well.
I'm also going with nice.
Okay, so nice.
I just got excited.
Fair enough.
Or you didn't get excited enough and got distracted by beer.
Hey, I'm not complaining. Other than that, stay tuned because we have our second half of the episode coming up with a review on something from the TV. See you soon. All right, so we've got another beer down and another movie review to go. when it comes to Christmas films, we have a long branch of different genres, whether it's wholesome, family-friendly, to some of the horror movies that we've done in the past, yeah, for better or worse. Then we also have the ones that are dark comedies, or even more just dark dramas, like melodramas, you know? And today we're going to be tapping into that with 2017's El Camino Christmas. So this movie is about a young man who is trying to reconnect with his long-lost father that he hasn't seen in almost 20 years. And when he drives to the town of El Camino, he is dealing with a law enforcement group that doesn't really take kindly to people that have more money than they do. Just a lot of things. We're just going to leave it at that because, I mean, this movie definitely taps into a lot of barriers that social commentary would flag us for, but we're just going to, like I said, leave it at that. Well, while he is trying to find his long-lost father, there's a young woman who works at a convenience store, and her son hasn't really spoken much. He's pretty much just very much to himself. And while the woman is working at the convenience store, the young man looking for his father is being harassed by the authorities in the town. He eventually gets arrested, put up in a jail cell, is beaten up a bit. One of the officers realizes this isn't right. He lets him go, and there's a police chase to this convenience store, wherein which the long-lost father shows up, and the corrupt cop out of the group of the authorities gets shot in the leg. They are in a hostage situation. The police are trying to defuse it, and a lot of insanity ensues and some comedy. And that's about it. I don't want to ruin too much about it. I mean, this is one of those interesting movies. I mean, it's definitely worth a one watch. So, I mean, it's on streaming services, so you can find yourself a copy, definitely. Now it's time to talk about what I like and what I don't like about the film. I mean, the cast alone, you have a good amount of names that are in the know. We have Tim Allen and Luke Grimes playing the father-son duo trying to reconnect. We also have Kurtwood Smith playing the chief of police. We have Vincent D'Onofrio playing the corrupt cop. We have Dax Shepard playing another deputy who's kind of bumbling, who is the, I believe it's the chief or the sheriff's nephew. We have Jessica Alba playing a news reporter for a local TV station, and Jimmy O Yang playing her cameraman. The young woman in the convenience store is played by Michelle Nillette, which for me personally, I know her very well as playing Katie in Letterkenny, so that's kind of one of the reasons why I watched it. The story, it's very interesting, and I mean, it's definitely one of those Rambo-esque type storylines where all this young guy wants to do is reconnect with his father, and the people around him that are in charge are putting him in a bad position. He gets beaten up for no reason, and eventually he reconnects with his father, and in the end, things do take a turn for the worse, but at least there is some closure. Alright, now it's time to talk about the things that I don't like. I have been a fan of the confinement movies, especially in horror, because where nobody's safe, you don't know what might happen, or anything that could go wrong could happen. In this one, yeah, those situations do happen, but what bothers me the most about it is the whole conversations between Tim Allen and Luke Grimes' characters. We already have figured out, probably halfway through the movie, that they're father and son. And the corrupt cop makes a comment to Tim Allen, talking about his past life, where it coincides with information that the son found out about him when he was younger. And we're sitting here as the audience going, so are we going to talk about this? Are they finally going to have a conversation about it? And unfortunately, that conversation really doesn't happen until the last 5 minutes of the movie. So that closure or that bond really doesn't happen. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. And it falls flat a little bit. And it bugs me. It bugs me a little bit. The other thing is, yeah, granted, I mean, in movies like this, whether you want to call it a melodrama or a dark comedy, you have to have some foils or some characters that are completely ignorant and stupid. And they did this with the law enforcement, which I get in dark comedies and whatnot. Somebody's got to play the idiot. But the way how they went about this, I mean, I mentioned the Rambo-esque type storyline. Some of the back and forths where the police are trying to diffuse the situation, they do it in methods that could get other people injured, to the point where they're opening windows from other sides of the convenience store, opening fire, and eventually they realize they're opening fire on each other. I mean, funny as it is, it's just thinking to myself, they were trying to be funny, but at the same time, what if one of those people that are being held quote-unquote hostage gets hurt or worse? And that's where it just kind of went, okay, I mean, I get it, willing suspension of disbelief, but at the same time, it's just, after a while, it does get to the point where it's an endurance trial. That's about as best as I can describe it. Okay, so now it's time to grade this film. Now, I've watched this in the past, and I thought I'd do a little retrospect on it and kind of relive it and see what I thought. I mean, it's an okay movie. I mean, the cast definitely has great performances for the most part. I mean, the story itself and attention span wise, it can drag on a little bit, especially due to the focal point about the father and son reconnecting. Now, in the interest of fairness, like I said, because I watched it more than once, I'm going to give it a better grade than what I thought I was. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give this one a C+. I mean, I want to give it a higher grade, especially because I appreciate a lot of the performances from the cast. It's just, I'm going off of the story and the timing and energy of the film, because there are moments where it does drag on and fall flat. And that, for me, it's tough. It really is. But I mean, at least it's a passing grade, so yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it at. Well, we hope you enjoyed the beer review and the movie review for today's episode. If you agree with me on both of them, leave a thumbs up. If not, leave a thumbs down. And if you agree on one and not the other, hey, I get it. And if there's certain things that I might have missed, either with the beer or the movie, we got that comment section below. Leave a comment here. I mean, and a lot of it is, I just want to, I like knowing what people are thinking and what they're feeling about things, because, you know, I know I do these reviews and I may have my own opinions and be on my high horse on things, but sometimes, especially in the Christmas season, I might need to be a little bit humbled, and that's okay, because, you know what? I'm no Scrooge, that's for sure. Other than that, make sure you share on social media, push that little red button, and don't forget to ring the bell for instant notifications. Also, make sure you check out my boy Hefe at Beer You, Beer Me. I look forward to seeing more of his content coming out soon, and you should too. Other than that, I'm Wildman Wes, and we will see you tomorrow for day 20 of What's Your Poison's 24 Beers of Christmas. Take care.